if if this business has great food, but they have a big old Trump flag out front, and this would be the same for if they had a Biden flag up front. You know what I mean? I wouldn't go there. I don't believe in bringing your politics into your business.
What
Um,
if what if they make political donations from their business?
uh,
So
yeah,
you go and
I
buy a
don't.
slice of your pizza and like 2 cents of your slice goes to Trump. But,
I never thought about that. I don't know if that will affect me from going there.
well, okay, only 2 cents.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Dad Religion Podcast. I'm Jason. That is Jimmy Bread Bowl.
Jimmy bread
How we?
bowls and yeah, dude, buns and bowls. Oh my god, where are we going with all this?
A little
Red,
yeasty today, are we?
red humor squad around me.
What's going on, brother? How we doing? Happy Memorial? No, yeah, Happy Memorial Day.
Yeah, yeah. Mm,
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I had to work. I don't feel as bad about working on Memorial Day as I do about working on Labor Day, though. Labor Day gets to me. Memorial Day is like I'm not. That wasn't my sacrifice. So if I gotta work, I gotta work. But um,
Yeah, you were working. When I called you earlier, you said you weren't home yet, and I was like, "Oh, I wonder if he's moving." And then I realized you were working.
yeah, no, trabajo, trabajo. That's It wasn't a hard day, but it was. I wasn't feeling great, so it wasn't fun.
Yeah, you a
So
little under the weather.
I don't know, man. I just woke up with a headache and a little bit of a stomach thing and felt like I didn't really sleep. Felt like I'm like hungover, but I didn't drink a drop, so it ain't that. It could have been like a night of snoring or something like that. I've heard that has that kind of an effect
You
on you.
snore? Are you a snorer?
I have been, but I tried that CPAP and it did not work for me. We did not get along. So, we ditched
Sir,
that. I got a pillow, a certain kind of pillow that and so huh,
sir,
what?
sir. I don't mean to
Sir.
cut you off. How
No, go
long
for it.
did you use your CPAP for?
I tried it for like 3
Before you're
weeks.
like, dude, you got to give it time.
No,
It
the
takes
problem was just
time.
I wasn't sleeping at all. I was, like, going, like, 4 or 5 nights in a row where the CPAP machine was keeping me up and only getting, like, 2 or 3 hours of sleep. I was dying.
How
But
is
this
that
pillow
possible?
because it, like, forces air, right? Like, and so as the I could never find the, balance of how to breathe in and exhale. It was waking me up every time I was taking a breath. There's just not
Well, was
there's
it
not
was it for your mouth or your nose? Was it like
no,
over your mouth or over your
no,
nose?
it was over my nose. It was over my nose.
That's weird. Huh.
But
Well,
it's
you
alright
probably
because
have sleep apnea. You
I
probably
know
do have sleep apnea.
I for sure do. I've been diagnosed, but we got these pillows that, like, kinda just, like, tilt you a little bit differently, and it's been way better. I'm not saying perfect, but I feel like last night maybe I was snoring, and so that might have been it. That might be why I'm feeling the way that I am today. But I'm feeling
Hey,
better now 'cause I got home, had a cup of coffee, had a granola bar. Feel great now. Whew, let's have a show, man. What you wanna talk about?
hey, did you by chance get a chance to see the roast of Kevin Hart?
Oh, yeah, I sure did, yeah.
Yeah.
Such
What'd you
wholesome
think?
humor. It was hilarious, man. I laugh at that kinda stuff. Comedy is like a place where I really give off a lot of space, because sometimes comedians are gonna say things that they really even don't believe themselves just to see what happens, and that's a good thing. Even if it's something you don't like, it felt like all the shots were being fired in both directions. It seemed like it was a fair fight,
Yeah.
so so why so why do I need to get involved on that? If I would have found it too insulting, I would have turned it off. But I didn't. I found some of it funny and, a lot of it was racist and uncomfortable. But I still thought a lot of it was funny, genuinely funny. Sometimes you need to go into uncomfortable places and treat it with laughter, because that's the best medicine that there is. Anyway, that's what I thought. What was your thought about it?
Oh, I loved it, and I love that
Yeah.
shit. You know what you're getting into when you're in a roast. I had so many people mad on both sides. You had a real you had a Charlie Kirk joke that was "woo" by Pete Davidson, and then you had a George Floyd joke that was "ooh" by Tony Hinchcliffe. And like it's like one side was mad at one, but not the other. You can't.
Right,
That's not how this
right.
works. You're gonna be upset. Be upset about both.
Bro, that's the TDS right there, isn't it? I mean, that's like symptom number 1. That's one thing we all have in common. Like, we just look at these things through our own prisms, and it's a psychological thing. It's all TDS right there, bro,
Well,
you
that
know?
wasn't TDS. I mean, but it was the right. It was the left too. Yeah, they were
Yeah,
getting mad about the George Floyd joke, but didn't say shit about the
without a
Charlie
doubt.
Kirk joke. You know.
Exactly,
So,
exactly, exactly. Or
so
all those other jokes about, is it Hinchman? Is that his name? Tony
Tony
Hinchman?
Hinchcliffe,
Oh, Hinchcliffe.
Hinchcliffe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hinchcliffe. They went after him, like, on many levels that went
Hmm.
even beyond that, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think Tony Hinchcliffe. I like him. I listen to his show. I know a lot of people hate him. They can't stand him. They think he's a Nazi. They think of this. They think he's that.
But he plays into
He's
that.
just he's just a roast comedian. He's
Yeah,
not a. That's what he
he plays
is. He's
into that
always been
persona.
that way.
It's part of his persona. He is making money off of cultivating that idea about himself,
Maybe
creating that backlash against himself. I didn't think that this one was as funny as the Tom Brady one, even though I didn't think Tom Brady was funny coming out in either time. He's kind of pretentious to me, Tom Brady. He just doesn't I don't think
no,
he delivers the joke very well. You know, "Ooh, Tom Brady?"
no.
So, first of all, Shane Gillis is just fucking hilarious, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's one of the most self-aware comics. Like, he understands in the moment when the joke is landing and when it's not and why, and he'll, like, comment on it on the spot. But he kinda, like he set off the pace, and he let us know, like, "Oh, well, it doesn't get better, guys," like, right off the bat.
What's crazy about him is everyone thinks he's this MAGA freaking comedian. One person said they put him on the Mount Rushmore most racist people. It's crazy to me the way people think other people are when they don't actually know who they are. You know what I mean? They don't listen to him. They don't know. I love Shane Gillis. He's like one of my
Yeah.
favorite comedians. He
So
doesn't. He
so
just doesn't care.
when it comes to comedy like this, Jason, I'm of the opinion that, go and find the one that you like, honestly. And if you feel that way about Shane Gillis or about Tony Hinchcliffe or about, Jeff Ross or whoever else is doing it, then or Kevin Hart, then you avoid that one, because they're not gonna reach you. Comedy is important. You gotta laugh. It's that commentary that allows you to laugh at yourself and feel that connection to the failure of all the human race, and then to process it without your head exploding. I think that everyone needs to have that. So if those guys aren't your cup of tea, go find your cup of tea.
I think too many people have a stick up their ass nowadays. That's what I think.
All right, yeah, we all do. That's another TDS right there. We all have sticks up
Not
our ass.
me.
I keep on telling you TDS is like COVID. You're that guy who had it and, like, never showed symptoms and, like, only knew, like, 2 years later because he took an antigen test that he had ever had it. But you probably got, like, 8 or 9 people sick in the process. I think that's
That never happened, bro. The stick up my ass is non-existent. I only get mad at my children,
uh,
and
uh,
that's it.
dude, I can't Jason, I cannot even hear his voice. I can't. I mute the TV. I'm like, so I
Who are we
obviously
talking
get
about? Oh, you're talking
Trump.
about Trump? Oh, how'd
I'm
you
talking
turn
about
it to
TDS.
Trump?
Just 'cause it's
What are you
TDS.
what are you doing? What are you
Because you
doing,
said
dude? I'm talking about my kids, you turned it to Trump.
because you said that you don't have TDS, and so we were talking about TDS. That's why I said I
No,
can't
I
I
said I don't
have
have
it,
a stick up my ass.
and
I
I
didn't
said that
say
was
anything about
TDS.
TDS.
Oh,
No,
I
you
said it.
said, "No, you have it. You have it like COVID, you have an invisible stick." See,
Oh, we're
you
gonna have
do
to
have
go
TDS, bro. Holy
we'll go back
shit.
we'll go back and look at the I'm gonna go back and look at the
Oh,
transcript and see
no, that's
if,
exactly what you said, bro. Wow,
I do.
have you checked your temperature lately?
It doesn't work that way. It's a
Are you
psychological
sure?
Yeah, it's a
Holy crap, you
psychological
be turning everything into Trump.
Uh,
Let's
dude.
pivot away from Trump. I don't want to talk about Trump.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm good.
Let's talk about how my kids piss me off. Let's
The
talk
floor is
about
yours.
girls. You know about girls. Girls
Oh, I
they
do.
take a shower and they leave their clothes everywhere, all over the bathroom.
Yeah.
Girls, they leave their let me think of something. They leave the wrappers to their pads all over the bathroom floor and miss the toilet. Girls, there's makeup everywhere all over the sink. This drives me absolutely insane. Girls have the dirtiest rooms ever. My opinion. I don't know, and I've never had a little boy, but
I don't know what you're talking about, to be honest. That's not my life experience at all, living with raising 2 girls. I'm about to move
no?
in with one. Ah! Yes!
Thank
Yes!
you. You're
Girls
scaring
can
me.
be girls can be just as dirty
They're
as boys.
gross, dude. Don't
Uh,
let's not
Humans are
sugarcoat
gross.
it.
Dude, humans are gross. Yeah, they're gross. At some point,
Stop
you get
trying to
older so at some point you get older and you look around and you're like, "Oh my god, I'm living in my own nastiness and I'm gonna change that," and then you start showering and cleaning more and having better hygiene. Probably happened to all of us, you know? Um, but yeah, I don't think there's any distinction between boys and girls on the messiness part. I think boys will wreck a room faster than girls, but girls, because they'll, like, be tucking shit back behind, in between mattresses and all that other shit, when it reaches its maximum capacity, it truly is a nest of badness. I don't know. I don't have boys, so I can't really compare, you know? My
I
friends who
don't
have
think
had
you've
boys
met
are
my
like
9-year-old.
Do you think I have?
I don't think you've met my 9-year-old. Anyways, continue, sorry.
How long does it take her
Oh,
to
she
tear
could
apart?
she'll clean her room, and literally by the next day, it's, a nightmare.
Yeah,
Nightmare.
yeah.
There's nail polish everywhere, there's all her she's like a, scientist. She has science projects everywhere, like, I opened her closet, and there's, like, a bag of sugar with some this is just random, with some dish soap, and she's got them mixed in a bowl, and then there's, like, some hair dye that she stole from her sister that's in there, and she's making her own paint, and I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing?" YouTube Shorts is banned from this freaking house, I swear to God.
She Wait a second now. You what she was trying to make her own kind of paint using hair dye, sugar?
And this is just a random thing that I'm thinking. Okay. She wasn't trying to do that, but that's something that I would
Oh,
find in there.
oh,
Stuff like
alright.
that. I'm trying to
Wow.
make my own slime. I'm trying to make my own plaster because I'm making a. She's very intelligent and she's
Okay,
very
so
creative,
you
but
have to
she's
cultivate you have to
filthy.
cultivate a creative mind, bro. You gotta get her a laboratory then.
Oh,
Build
we
her a
don't have
little
room
lab,
for
huh?
that. We don't have room for
Mm.
that.
Give her a corner
She
of your, little barn out there.
no, that's
She'd
not
love
happening. This is the only place I can go to get away from that. I'm not inviting it into my home,
it.
away from home. All right.
Maybe you got room outside for science project, maybe a patio
Yeah,
with
we
an
got
awning.
room out there. Yeah, sure. You can stay outside. No, she just needs to. And the thing is, she sneaks it. She'll like wait till we're like not around. She'll go and she'll steal some pan spray, and then she'll go in and grab some toothpicks when we're not looking, and then some markers. And before you know it, she's trying to make her own. I don't know, perfume spray bottle or something. It's wild.
And I
Right
bet
now,
it smells lovely.
she's in the crochet, so she's crocheting everything.
Okay, well,
She's making hand
that's harmless.
warmers, leg warmers. She made a purse, and she's
That's
really into beads. So she
okay.
beads everything. She makes bead purses, but the problem is
You find beads
the
everywhere.
beads are fucking everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. You try and vacuum them, they're like
Oh my god, dude! You pull out her bed to sweep, and it's just like 1,000 beads everywhere. And she likes to
"Oh,
sleep in it.
oh."
She's crazy. I love her to
Yeah,
death, but
she's got
she
a
drives me
creative
insane.
brain though, man. She
No,
wants to invent
100%.
shit. Love that. I love that. I love that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
she does
You need to buy her an amateur science kit. Allow her to do some safe, real experiments and understand what's going on because it sounds like she's curious, and we
She
need more
likes art
science.
too. She does a lot of drawings and stuff like that. She's
Hey,
only 9,
you
so we'll see what happens.
bro, in my view, there's very small distinction between art and science. In fact, look at the shirt I'm wearing.
Yeah, that guy
I
didn't
don't know if
really
you
know
can read
much.
I don't know if you can read it, but it says imagination is more important than knowledge. That's Albert Einstein, and he knew a thing or two about science. So, yeah, I would cultivate all of that shit, dude. My brother was like that, and he's also become an amazing chef. Like, he can cook, like, anything. Like, he just understands flavors and spices, and he knows just how to do it intuitively. It's just really, really cool and weird. But, when he was a kid, like, this was a lot younger, like 3 and 4, if he got up before everybody else, he'd be making breakfast for everybody. Of course, he'd be doing it on the carpet in the living room, but you'd have eggs and, bacon out there, and he'd be mixing it all up. He's from a very young age, he was doing that kinda stuff. That got him a couple of ass whoopings, I'm not gonna lie. My, my stepdad and mom were not amused. Yeah.
Yeah, when he cracked the eggs on the carpet?
I think he cracked them on a bowl and then opened them just onto the carpet, so
Yeah,
you could
that's what
see
I
them.
mean.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly how he did. Little chocolate milk over on the side. I don't know where he was going with that, but,
Hey, he knew.
yeah,
I've also heard, that, Albert Einstein was a hack. Is that true?
no, no, he was, what was he? He was a theoretical,
I'm just kidding.
right? Well, what's crazy about Einstein is that all the shit that he did was in his head, bro. Everything was in his head. Like, he was a Jewish guy in Germany for most of his youth. He was not given, the treatment that other German scientists were given. Everything he wasn't given grants to do, real field work and to do, like, real experiment. Everything was just done with pad and paper or chalk and chalkboard in his brain. That's what's crazy about Einstein. But,
Yeah.
you know,
So what else is going
Einstein's
on,
not
man?
Einstein's not the father, though. I think Newton is the father, you
Isaac
know?
Newton?
So I think that we rely more on what Isaac Newton brought to the table back in the day. That was it.
What about Sir Elton John or
Good
Sir
piano
Paul
player.
McCartney?
I would say about Elton John, good piano playing, but I think his chops maybe a little bit under Billy Joel's. I think Billy Joel hits that ragtime, he kinda and Elton John is really more, big chords and sounds and things like that. That's my take on that, but I like them both. Good songwriters, both of them. Yep, yep.
I didn't think about Billy Joel, but that's good. Billy Joel's good. I like
No,
him.
but that is a natural comparison to me all the time. Singer-songwriter, piano player, you know?
I was just saying it because it was Sir Elton
Yeah, I know.
John,
There's a
Sir
nice
Paul
transition.
McCartney.
Yeah.
I was trying. So let's get back to your TDS, dude. Now,
Okay.
what provokes you with this Trump derangement syndrome that you have? And it's
Nothing.
starting, and I've noticed it's starting to get worse.
No, it's getting
So
better because I understand it's
ooh,
getting better because I understand that I have it. That's the only thing. I feel better about it, and let me tell you why. Because I know I got it, I know it fucks with me, and I know that I don't think completely rationally when it comes to that dude. I get super emotional, and I don't have the right frame of mind. I just think that everyone is like that, at least in such to some degree. They get they get affected by it in a way that is not rational, you know? But the dude's
so
also in a position of power doing an awful lot of damage to some people and then saving the world or, becoming the second Jesus to others. So you know, so I don't
let me ask you this:
go for it.
Is it Trump derangement syndrome if you get upset about other things that Trump's not involved in, like those jokes? You said it's a version of TDS. What did Trump have to do with those? Is it just because his ideals or the
Yeah.
conservatives are Trump voters, so it's automatically
Yep.
TDS?
That's kinda what I'm saying is that PBS has infected the right and the left in that way. Cognitive dissonance on it, like you said, that cognitive dissonance is evidence of something not going right with your brain, with your mind. You're holding 2 opposing thoughts in your head at the same time. Either it's okay to take shots like that on everyone, or it's not. That's TBS to me. And I think that, yeah, that to me is emblematic of how where we are now, and I think it's because of Trump. Yeah.
Can we call it
Can
a
we call it a
variant of
variant of
TDS?
TBS? I think it is a symptom of TDS.
Ah, okay, okay. We're getting somewhere now. We're
But
getting
but but
somewhere
not
now. So,
not like, not everybody showed all the symptoms. It manifests differently in each person.
how does it manifest in me? Because you've known me for a while. We talk about this quite often.
Not much. There's you, there's my buddy Mike, who I got to hang out with this weekend. I think who else I can think of. I don't think. the 2 of you for starters that I don't think are as effective. You can, like, hold the thought in your mind that this guy really sucks, you
Oh,
know,
I hate him.
and I think it was, yeah, Mike said the same thing, and Mike's more conservative than you are, you know, like, I would say that the 2 of you, you're maybe, centrist with a step to the left, and he's like a centrist with a step to the right, and I think that, you know, you guys are both sort of in that same area, just a little bit different, but you both are able to say that same thing, have a lot of regret that he's ever been president, but it just doesn't get you as mad. You don't prioritize that part of life as highly as some of the rest of us do, and some of us, you know, we're like, we think of this as an existential threat. It looks like it does, you know, and,
It is, but for me, I do get, like this whole thing with, where he sued himself, well, he sued the government, but it's essentially himself, and then he was the
settled with
jury,
himself.
and then he settled with himself for $1.8 billion to give to in a slush fund to do whatever he wants with, and then can't get audited. Now, is it he can't get audited for the past, but anything in the future, that's still fair game, right? Is that what I read?
I think that's what you read, but I gotta be honest, Jason, that's way over my pay grade. I have no idea how I don't know how a law like that could possibly work or how that could possibly be legal. You know, the only
Well,
thing that I had
I
heard,
don't think it's gonna pass, but to
well,
be honest with you,
I don't know if it has to pass. Like, that's the one thing I heard is
it's
like,
up for a
okay,
vote.
someone so maybe then, it could be fixed in legislation. I heard somebody comment that you can't really fix it in the court because who has the standing to bring it as a case, right? Because it's always a thing that the courts look at. Do you have standing? Who are you to make this claim? And if your only standing is, well, I'm an American citizen and he's like making me pay for it through my tax dollars, that's never really held up in court. Like, that's people have brought that many times, and many times they've been, you know, ushered out. And so who files that case? You know, who's the aggrieved party? We are, obviously, but these guys are so slimy, Jay. We're talking about people who are making the decisions about war, life and death, and the ease of life for people all over the world, including right here, in terms of how much they're having to pay for gasoline and these other expenses that are going up and up. And while they're doing that, you got people that are like cashing in on the stock market, on stocks
Yeah.
that they actually can control, that they have whether or not the stock goes up has something to do is affected by the decisions that they make in war. Dude, I don't even know what this is anymore.
So my distinction, so with the TDS in me, so I know what's happening. I see it. I
Yeah,
read about it every day. I'm very well informed. Here's where the TDS. I'm allowed to be pissed off as an American. I don't think
sure.
that's TDS. That is not
No,
TDS. When you're
no.
pissed off at the president and what he's doing.
I would
Uh,
let me
but what
before
I
you go on.
do is I file it in my brain
Yeah,
and I hold on to it, but I don't let it travel past that at this point. You know what I mean? I know he's a slimy fucker. I know it's a clown show. The whole thing's a clown show. I just I file it in there. I know it's there. I can speak about it, but I don't let it get that far into my brain to where it's gonna fucking affect me waking up in the morning and doing my job and getting to work and taking care of my family. I walk around with some of my family members. Like if I'm in a certain town and they live there, they know exactly who voted for Trump. Oh, I don't go to that business. They're Trumpers. I don't go here. And it's like, Jesus Christ, do they got good food? I just want something good to eat. If it's good
yeah.
food, I don't give a fuck what you voted for. I really don't. Now, if you're outside, and this goes for if if this business has great food, but they have a big old Trump flag out front, and
Mm.
this would be the same for if they had a Biden flag up front. You know what I mean? I wouldn't go there. I don't believe in bringing your politics into your business. Um,
What if they make political donations from their business?
uh,
So
yeah,
you go
I
and buy
don't.
a slice of your pizza and, like, 2 cents of your slice goes to Trump.
I never thought about that. I don't know if that will affect me from going there.
Okay. It's only 2 cents. It doesn't really
I just don't.
money does not.
I just don't know if that. I want to think that hard on it. You know what I mean?
I think
Now,
it would be really hard to unshuffle that salad and figure out everybody who's throwing money in different places. We really, you know, if you're gonna boycott, you should be specific about it, and everyone needs to get on board, and you target it. And, in the meantime, let everybody keep on doing their business. I mean, in the end, if you spread it out that way as a tactic, if I'm not going to go there, I'm not going to go there, I'm not going to go there because they all donated and they're all associated with the conservative stuff, then you diluted your money power. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to Target canceling DEI. Well, when everyone decided to not go to Target, it crushed their stocks for a good period of time. It definitely was a more effective weapon. You know,
Yeah, what's crazy is this whole cancel, 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 cancel. Now it's like uh Stephen Colbert was canceled, great show, great man, by the way. Uh I find it so humorous how when the right was being canceled, they'd be like, "Oh, you're a blue-haired lefty," and now they're the ones doing the canceling. I
there it
find
is.
that's
There it is
hilarious
again.
to me. Huh?
There
There's
you just another symptom right there, right? It's the same. It's
well,
a similar symptom, but it's the same. The
I don't know, so
that
I just found it hilarious. It doesn't matter to me either way. I'm not gonna
it
get
is.
mad about it.
No, no, you don't
But
have to. But I'm not saying you
well,
have that symptom.
hold
I'm
on.
saying
Before
that
we go any further, I want to go back a little bit. So when it comes to, like you said, if they donate money, the only time I do something like that is when I'm voting. If
okay,
they've received money from a certain PAC,
okay.
I will not vote for that person. There's certain things are prioritized above what we need to do here at home. I find it very sad, and I won't. And that's over money. You know what I mean? So that is when I do some research. I do a little picking and choosing when I'm in the voter
Yeah.
box.
I am with you on that actually, 100%. Um, it's
So
unbelievable. It's unbelievable the way that we prioritize the needs of people who
yeah,
need help in this country versus people who need help in other
yeah,
countries.
yeah.
Uh, you know, yeah. So anyway,
It's weird.
but then again, I got to be honest. Like the Ukraine thing, I was for a long time of the opinion that, well, if you're telling me that we can go ahead and fight the largest geopolitical enemy that we have on the planet to basically a standstill in some Eastern European country without committing a single soldier, yeah, it's not a bad deal. But that's me not being the person that I'm the most proud of. That's me looking at cynically about how the world is.
When it comes to Ukraine, I was cool. I mean, a lot of countries were donating to Ukraine. I'm all for helping people, 100%. But when are we going to have cheaper healthcare? When is our groceries going to be? Oh, I went to the grocery store. It's ridiculous. I buy food for a living, and it's insane. The price of beef, the price of produce. That has a lot to do with the straits, but it's just there's a lot. They're not focusing on us. They don't. It feels like they don't care about us. They only care about their foreign
I think
interests.
I think they think about their legacy as a story. I think that Trump thinks of his own legacy as like a picture book story, that you would read to a first grader about the history of America, because that's probably as far as he ever got reading about the history of the United States. Just those,
There it is. Hey. There's too
I
many
think
people
that
out there who are having a hard time, who are struggling, who voted for him, and I just think it's at this point he's just doing whatever the fuck he wants, doesn't give a shit, and will let the chips fall where they may.
did you know that when Joseph Stalin died, like, even though he was a repressive motherfucker, there was a huge showing of mourning that came out of Russia. Lines and lines of people waiting to go past his casket, absolutely just devastated and crying, and I'm sure
Uh-huh.
that was only those are just the people that, really, really followed him. Um, but most of the people around the world, I think, felt a small sense of relief. My belief is that when Trump, goes away, that, that's what's gonna happen here. You're going to have people who absolutely lose their minds because of his past. They are going to show huge outpourings of emotion,
Uh-huh.
and around the rest of the world, you're going to be hearing the "ding dong, the witch is dead" treatment, like, it's gonna be they'll be s it'll be sad. It'll be a sad thing to see, people around the world celebrating the passing of a US president, but I really think, that's where we're at. I think you're gonna see a lot of that in this country too. There's just At the very least, a collective exhale, you know? Just, "Oh, fuck."
Yeah.
Finally.
I
Yeah.
think that you're right. He still has a lot of people who love him out there. I'm not saying like everyone's like off the Trump train. That's not what I'm trying to say. He has lost a lot
Yeah.
of people, and even I think people
Yeah,
who are on the Trump train are going to think a little differently on how they want to vote. On that note, I think we need to wrap it up. We're at a little bit past our time. I'd like to
we're
thank
good. Well,
everybody for joining
thanks for
us, Jim.
joining us, Jim. Yay, yay, my bro.
You,
Go out there and you gonna cook? You gonna cook for the fam?
I'm just doing some burgers, man. Some burgers, some roasted
Good.
potatoes, little,
I'm
some
gonna do
green
hot dogs.
beans.
Christina and I think I'm gonna make hot dogs. We're gonna watch the baseball game. That sounds good to me.
All right, man.
It sounds American, man. Sounds American. Both of us here, from sea to shining sea, Texas to California. Hell yeah. Have a good one, man. We'll
Hey,
talk.
don't forget to like and subscribe if you made it this far. At least just give us a like, send it to someone else,
Yes,
subscribe. I
please.
think we need to do a little better marketing too, but yeah.
Probably.
Anyways, all right. Happy Memorial Day, everyone.
All
Peace.
right, yeah, homie.
Later.